power of baseball goes beyond the field.
What an exciting time.
Stand up,
Together.
Earlier this week, Major League Baseball announced their new MLB Together platform, emphasizing baseball's efforts to make important societal contributions through the power of partnership, community, and volunteerism. It also features a new mental health and wellness initiative geared towards youth. White Sox closer and cancer survivor Liam Hendriks has been named MLB Together ambassador. For more on MLB Together, we welcome April Brown, MLB's Senior Vice President of Social Responsibility. And April, thanks so much for being here. I think this is so important to talk about this. And MLB has a long history of community outreach. How do you think MLB Together will make more efforts in terms of their outreach even more important?
Thank you, Alana. Such a pleasure to be here and speak to you about this morning. Yes, MLB Together, for many decades, baseball has contributed to causes across the country that affect so many people. What MLB Together does is gives us one platform where we're able to be laser focused in certain areas where we know the power of our sport can truly uplift communities and make a difference. We're doing this together with our fans, with our clubs across the country, and most importantly, with our nonprofit partners. We consider this the most important work that we do off the field in the community, making change. And we want everyone to know that you can involve yourself and do this in your own neighborhood. You can go to MLBtogether.com and see how you can join us in making change right in your own backyard.
Yeah, I think it is so important. And you have 2 degrees in developmental psychology. So nobody better to talk about this initiative than you, April. Why do you think it's so important to have an outreach of a mental health and awareness program geared towards youth?
It is incredibly important, and this just professionally and personally, it's just been amazing to be able to bring this initiative to life. And in May, Mental Health Awareness Month, we really wanted to make sure that we were thoughtful about how we take care of our young people. For decades, baseball has had established programs where we are able to help our players and our employees with their mental wellness and mental health. But as we know, coming out of the pandemic, struggles with youth has just been on the rise. Just a few weeks ago, the U.S. Surgeon General announced that loneliness and isolation and depression is the #1 health cause of the country right now. And we've seen it just in our own families with our young people. So we wanted to do 3 things. We wanted to destigmatize the topic. Many of our players have come forward and talked about their own mental wellness and their own struggles and how they've overcome struggles. We want to make sure that every young person knows it's okay to feel anxious or feel depressed, but you need to be educated and know that you can get help. So we have 2 really important partners. EverFi is a partner that is doing an in-school curriculum across the country, teaching middle school and high schoolers the techniques and how to deal with stress and to recognize the signs. And then Crisis Text Line, we've partnered and launched a text opportunity. You can text MLB to 741 any time of the day and be connected immediately to a trained crisis counselor. And we're providing that service in English and in Spanish because we really want our young people across the country who play our sport, who come into our ballparks, to know that we care about their mental wellness. And we want them to know it's okay to be kind to yourself, to ask for help, and to utilize a resource if you need it. So please utilize our Crisis Text Line service.
Yeah, it is critical to talk about it. It's critical to destigmatize it. It's also critical, as you know better than anybody, April, to give yourself some grace, give yourself a pass. One of the other pillars of MLB Together is wanting to make sure that there is a program for diversity, equity, and inclusion. What are some of the core values, the core issues, and how can this area improve?
Absolutely. And when we talk about changing communities and uplifting populations, we want to make sure that with diversity, equity, inclusion in our work, we are always looking to close equity gaps. We want to make sure that those communities that are underrepresented, communities of colors that might not have had access to services and around different areas, get that level playing field. And one of the best programs that we have been involved in is funding scholarships with the Jackie Robinson Foundation. Rachel Robinson created the foundation 50 years ago in Jackie's legacy to be able to make sure that all young people had a chance for higher education. So we've just been thrilled to be a partner to fund scholarships, to give mentorship and internships to young people as they try to pursue their dreams. So that's one example of how we try to close equity gaps as it exists in education.
It really is incredible how much Jackie Robinson continues to impact the world in such a positive way. And another initiative under this MLB Together umbrella, April, is an opportunity to have access to health research and resources. How does MLB as a unit, as a whole, continue to impact those areas? How do they reach out to the community even more?
Yes, what's incredibly important to us is to use our power in two health areas to fund cancer research. We are the founding donor of Stand Up to Cancer. And in the last 15 years, we've given over $50 million to Stand Up to Cancer, which goes in turn to scientists, to researchers. And what's so incredible about the work that they fund is that they break down silos. So together, scientists come together to be able to share data and globally or across the country to really help make progress in the areas of cancer, to make sure that any person that hears those words, "you have cancer," knows that there's hope and that there's real-time research and data that's being shared and we're making progress. And then our other health priority is ALS. As you know, inherent to our sport, the courage of Lou Gehrig so many years ago when he was diagnosed and announced that to the public, we want to make sure that that stays in the forefront of everyone's mind, that they know that every day someone is diagnosed with ALS, and it's a condition that affects them for their life and for their families. So we want to make sure that we continue to raise awareness and raise funds for research, because we need to make much more progress in that area. So it's incredibly important. So through MLB Together, we will have those partnerships and continue to provide that funding to make sure that just we help the communities in need.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear, and I'm so appreciative that there is a Lou Gehrig Day now every single year around Major League Baseball. And before we let you go, April, I want to talk about the MLB All-Star Game in Seattle. It's always a blast. It's always a wonderful event. But what can we expect from MLB Together, not only at the All-Star Game, but for future Jewel events?
Absolutely. We're so excited to go out to Seattle for our Midsummer Classic. It's going to be a wonderful time. MLB Together is the umbrella for our legacy. So for every time we have a Jewel event, World Series, or All-Star festivities, we make sure that we leave a legacy behind in that community. So we're working hand in hand with the Mariners. On Monday, we will be announcing a commitment of $2 million to the Seattle area and the surrounding areas, and really to make sure that our legacy is tied to what's important to our host club. And for the Mariners, it's to level the playing field with play equity, to make sure that every youth has an opportunity to play this game that we love. So we'll be doing investments in new field renovations, investments in community college students to make sure that they succeed, and investments to make sure that every young person in the Seattle area has access to play our sport. So we're really excited, and it's always an opportunity to just do some great work while we have a lot of fun with this game that we love.
Yeah, it's not just the game on Tuesday. It's everything that happens surrounding All-Star Week this year in Seattle. MLB Together, a new initiative from Major League Baseball focusing on mental health and the importance of just talking about it. April Brown, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the information.
Thank you, Alana. It's been a pleasure.